Good morning, welcome to Spark. I'm so glad that you're here today. Today we're going to be learning about that God is the creator. There was a man in the Bible named Job who was going through some really hard times. He wanted to ask God some questions about why things were so hard for him. God's answers didn't really explain why Job was going through hard times, but it did show how awesome and amazing God is as a creator. Let's see what God showed Job about all that he made and why we can trust him. I'm going to read some verses in a minute, and after I finish, you'll have 10 seconds to strike a pose that represents the creation I talked about. Use your creativity and any supplies from home that are nearby. Here's the catch: you have to use at least one item from your home. The first reading is from Job chapter 38, verses 8 through 11. Who kept the sea inside its boundaries as it burst from the womb, and as I closed it with clouds and wrapped it in thick darkness? For I locked it behind barred gates, limiting its shores. I said, this far and no further will you come. Here your proud waves must stop. Now you have 10 seconds to strike a pose. Ready? Go! That was awesome. Do you know the oceans are huge? If you took the tallest mountain, Mount Everest, and put it upside down in the ocean, do you know that it would be far, far away from the bottom of the ocean because the ocean is that huge? We've only just begun to understand it, and we've only explored about 5 to 10% of the ocean and what's in it. Scientists think that there are thousands of species that we have yet to discover. All right, our second reading now is going to be from Job 38, verses 12 through 15. Have you ever commanded the morning to appear and caused the dawn to rise in the east? Have you ever made daylight spread to the ends of the earth to bring an end to the night's wickedness? As the light approaches, the earth takes shape like clay pressed beneath a seal. It is robed in brilliant colors. The light disturbs the wicked and stops the arm that is raised in violence. And now you have 10 seconds to strike a pose. Ready? Go! Our next verse is from Job chapter 38, verses 31 through 33. Can you direct the movement of the stars, binding the cluster of the Pleiades, or loosening the cords of Orion? Can you direct the sequence of the seasons, or guide a bear and her cubs across the heavens? Do you know the laws of the universe? Can you use them to regulate the earth? And now you have 10 seconds to strike a pose. Ready, go! God created a lot of stars. Scientists estimate that there are 1 septillion stars. That's a 1 with 24 zeros after it. Holy cow, that's a lot of stars in the universe. And some scientists think that that's a low estimation. Crazy. Our next verse is from Job 38, chapters 34 through 38. Can you shout to the clouds and make it rain? Can you make lightning appear and cause it to strike as you direct? Who gives intuition to the heart and instinct to the mind? Who is wise enough to count all the clouds? Who can tilt the water jars of heaven? When the parched ground is dry and the soil is hardened into clods. And now you have 10 seconds to strike a pose. Ready, go! Lightning is big and powerful. Most lightning strikes are 2 to 3 miles long and have 100 million volts of power. That's a lot. Our next verse is from Job 39:19 through 21. Have you given the horse its strength, or clothed its neck with a flowing mane? Did you give it the ability to leap like a locust? Its majestic snorting is terrifying. It paws the earth and rejoices in its strength when it charges out into battle. Are you ready to strike a pose? Ready, go! Horses run fast, around 27 miles an hour on average. The fastest horse ever could run 55 miles an hour. That's really fast. Our next reading is from Job 39, chapters 26 through 28. Is it your wisdom that makes the hawk soar and spread its wings towards the south? Is it at your command that the eagle rises to the heights to make its nest? It lives on the cliffs, making its home on a distant rocky crag. Are you ready to strike a pose like an eagle? Ready, go! Eagles' wings are huge and heavy, so it takes a lot of energy to flap their wings. Instead, they catch air currents to soar and glide upon. One eagle was observed flapping her wings for only 2 minutes in the total of 1 hour of flight. Isn't that amazing? God made all of these impressive, powerful things. What does that show you about God? What's something God has made that really impresses you? I want you to think about that a little later. What's one thing you would create if you could make something possible? God is the creator. He made our whole world and everything in it. Even the things people make are made out of things God created. No one but God can create something out of nothing. You used creativity as you figured out how to use household items and your own bodies to show what God made. You did an awesome job. But God's creation is more incredible than anything we could make or think of. After Job heard all that God had to say, he was amazed by God. He couldn't think of anything else to say to God because he was so amazed by how God created everything and cares for his creation. We may not be able to create as well as God, but here's something amazing about the role God gave us when it comes to creation. I'm going to read Psalm 8, verses 3 through 8. When I look at the night sky and see the work of your fingers, the moon, the stars you set in place, what are mere mortals that you should think about them? Human beings that you should care for them. Yet you made them only a little lower than God and crowned them with glory and honor. You gave them charge of everything you made, putting all things under their authority, the flocks and the herds, and all the wild animals, the birds in the sky, the fish in the sea, and everything that swims the ocean currents. What does it mean to you that we are in charge of God's creation? God is the creator. He made you and me, and he wants us to partner with him to take care of his creation. What's one thing you can do to care for God's creation? Please take a moment and share that with your family now. We can make things out of craft supplies or other things God made, but we can't make something out of nothing. What we can do is honor God by taking care of his creation. Thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure to do your activity that was sent in the mail, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.